And so people are, whether they realize it or not, that dynamic in the show is that I'm basically always Beck.
Hello, you. How are you, Penn?
I'm good. How are you?
How sick are you of people saying that? That must happen 50 million times a week, I assume.
It's not because you is such a broad pronoun. It actually is not that bad.
Okay, okay. You don't hate me already, at least.
No, no.
This season, the Predator, obviously, well, part one anyway, the Predator is sort of becoming the prey, right? So I was wondering, when you're reading the script for this, do you ever have points where you feel sorry for Joe now? Or is it just, can you be sympathetic to a character like that?
Actually, so I do feel sorry for him, but not because it's like, oh, what's he gotten up to now? Here's when I feel sorry for him. Like, can you really imagine somebody like in this deep? Like, how many people have you killed? And you are still running from yourself? Like, whew, that is a miserable state. Every now and then, and it's rarely on camera, it's more like just in life. Like, I sort of touch, or it's like looking into an abyss. It's like looking into a chasm. And it's like, that would be just mind-bogglingly so awful feeling. Like, and that's the irony of Joe is that he's always so emotional. I guess in some ways,
Yeah.
I just feel like the reality of a serial killer at that point is that they're so kind of grotesquely divorced from their emotions, and that's where we differ from a clinical portrayal. But anyway,
Okay. Well, Joe kind of crosses the line of like just a stalker. Obviously, he's a murderer and a killer. But I'm assuming you're so famous now. I'm in Ireland, and everybody loves you. When I tell people I'm interviewing you, they're so excited. Do you ever get fans that cross the line in real life? Do you know what I mean? Does life ever
yeah,
interpret
yeah.
art?
I mean, not in the way that first of all, anybody who recognizes me and then like tries to act like they don't, uh, I can very much recognize that. And so people are, whether they realize it or not, that dynamic in the show is that I'm basically always Beck in a way, like they see me and they now they're thinking like, oh, how do I go and ask for a picture, or do I know, or do I not? And then, oh, I'm going to follow him for a block. People, younger people usually, um, do follow me, and I have to simply entertain it and be gracious because it would be wrong to be anything else. But yeah, I mean, it's a bit surreal.
Yeah.
It's definitely surreal.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. But the scenes right in this, I was also wondering watching this season, because I've never really thought about it before because I was interviewing. I was thinking the scenes where you're narrating in your head,
Hmm.
I assume, and you're looking into camera. I went, that must be hard as an actor because are they playing a tape for him of himself? Because you're kind of looking
No.
into the abyss and you do it well because I never thought
Yeah.
about it before.
Yeah, well, it is definitely something that I'm comfortable with now and do a lot of, but no. Well, in the beginning maybe it was a bit, actually I don't ever recall it being tough. I think I just took to it like a duck to water. Um and we record the voiceover before, but it doesn't help because like I'm never thinking about what I've done for the voiceover. I just know, yeah, somebody, usually my stand-in, will read the lines. Um Stand-in is somebody who stands in front of the camera while they're lighting, so you're not always literally on your feet in front of the camera.
Yeah.
And so he'll read those thought lines. I think it's harder for the other actors because they're always new. They come in and they have to interact with me while listening to this other guy read thoughts and act like they're not hearing me, but then there's not a lot for them to do. So it's very much it's a learning process for them more than for me.
Yeah. And do you find it easy on season 4 to be getting into the head of Joe? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is there any rituals before they say go?
For me, yeah, I mean, to be honest, you say ritual, like, I mean, it's not always the answer people are looking for, but I use prayer a lot, like that. It's for me, it's all very spiritual, and so I meditate and pray a lot as a tool to just tap into a very like open and receptive mind state, because that's really just what I try to do. I don't try to play him as a killer. I don't try to play him as anything. Just like I just respond to what he's actually saying, what he's actually thinking, what he's actually doing, and that's kind of it. Yeah.
Yeah. I was a big fan of Gossip Girl as well. And I noticed on Podcrust, your podcast, you've had a couple of the cast from the show, like
Yeah.
Leighton Meester and Jace. Are you still friendly with people that you work with like that from Gossip Girl? Do you know what I mean? To this day, do you end up, because I always thought actors might just move on.
Well, I think it goes both ways. It's sort of like a college roommate that you're super fond of, but just don't live near and don't see, and you don't really have the same things that connect you anymore. That's really what it's like.
Okay.
Um, Chase and Leighton happen to be two who I'm more recently in touch with, partly because of the podcast. But That's more or less circumstantial, you know. I mean, it's like I think we all remain like, none of us live near one another, but we're just sort of like, we remember it fondly, and when we do run into each other, it's like, hey.
Love it. Listen, congratulations on the brand new season. Loved it of you, and thanks for talking to us.
Yeah, thank you.